automobile was the first invented and perfected in Germany and France in the late 1800s, though Americans quickly came to dominate the automotive industry in the first half of the 20th century. Henry Ford innovated mass production techniques that became standard, and Ford, General Motors, and Chrysler emerged as the big three automotive companies by the 1920s. Manufacturers funneled through resources to the military during World War II, and afterward, automobile production in Europe and Japan soared to meet growing demand. Once vital to the expansion of American urban centers, the industry had become a shared global enterprise with the rise of Japan and the leading automaker by 1980. Although automobile was to have its greatest social and economic impact in the United States, it was initially perfected in Germany and France toward the end of the 19th century. Given the American manufacturing tradition, it was also inevitable that cars would be produced in larger volume at lower prices than in Europe. The absence of tariff barriers between the states encouraged sales over a wide geographic area. Cheap raw materials and a chronic shortage of skilled labor early encouraged the manufacturization of industrial processes in the United States. In 1913, the United States produced some 485,000 of the world total of 606,124 motor vehicles. Ford Motor Company greatly outpaced its competitors in reconciling state-of-the-art design with moderate price. Cycle and Automotive Trade Journal called for four-cylinder, 15 horsepower, $600 Ford Model N, 1906 to 1907. The very first instance of a low-cost motor car driven by a gas engine having cylinders enough to give the shaft a turning impulse in each shaft turn, which is well built and offered in large numbers. Dolged with orders, Ford installed improved production equipment and after 1906 was able to make deliveries of hundreds of cars a day. Encouraged by the success of the Model N, Henry Ford was determined to build an even better car for the great multitude. The four-cylinder 20 horsepower Model T, first offered in October 1908, sold for $825. Its two-speed planetary transmission made it easy to drive, and features such as its detachable cylinder head made it easy to repair. Its high chassis was designed to clear the bumps in rural roads. Vandal Steel made a Model T a lighter and tougher car, and new methods of casting parts, especially block casting of the engine, helped keep the price down. By 1927, replacement demand for new cars was exceeding demand from first-time owners and multiple car purchasers combined. Given the incomes of the day, automakers could no longer count on an expanding market. Installment sales had been initiated by the makers of moderately priced cars in 1916 to compete with the Model T, and by 1925, about 3/4 of all new cars were bought on time through credit. Although a few expensive items, such as pianos and sewing machines, had been sold on time before 1920, it was installment sales of automobiles during the 20s that established the purchasing of expensive consumer goods. It was installment sales of automobiles during the 20s that established the purchasing of expensive consumer goods on credit as a middle-class habit and a mainstay of American economy.